Hello everyone and welcome to another episode on the Reloaded server. We are in episode 10, 11? I've really lost count. It's been so many videos just back to back trying to get them all out and get stuff for you to watch. But, so I've definitely lost count of where we are because I can't count. So, what we've done in the last little while since we came to watch me was we did a little bit of expansion of our road. This is exactly where I left it, but I decided to go down this way a little bit as well as on the other side, and just expanding the road a little bit to mark out where we're going to go. So I also built up a little bit of the structure on this side just to get myself a little bit of an idea of how things are going to go and see how that goes as well. We're still going to do most of this off camera because most of it is going to be pretty mundane, but we will hopefully in the future have an episode where I actually start working on the second tier and continue on from there, because that will be quite an interesting part. I think it will be anyway. What we're going to be... Why can't I eat? Is the server laggy or something? 277? No? It's a bit odd, because you can see there I'm constantly placing random bits of purple concrete despite me holding pork in my hand. So hopefully that fixes itself in a minute, because that's going to be a bit annoying if it doesn't. So what we want to do today is to start work on our proper nether portal. For a little while we've just been coming in and out of the one right in the middle of the road, and that's sort of been annoying me for a little while. So we're going to fix that up today. I've already laid out the template of what I wanted to do this, and I actually did build it before I decided, yeah, I'm going to do this via video. So yeah, I've got a fair bit of an idea of what I want to do here. We're going to build a quick template here and then showcase it. I also want to do the side in the nether, because that is something I don't want just a simple dirt path in the nether as well. So lots to think about there, but for the time being, let's at least get the first layer of this underway, and then we can hopefully build it up. A little bit of time has passed and I've come up with this design now. Long-term viewers of my channel will recognize this as the building I built in Season 2 of Outlanders. And yes, I do like recycling some of these things because I am not the most creative person in the world. But I think I might change it up just a little bit. I'm not entirely sure if I want to go with this exactly the same one, which is the black concrete powder and the purple concrete powder behind the glass, or if I leave the bottom one blank and then copy this one all the way up as well. So that's a little bit of an option. The one like this will probably be a little bit more, will probably make it a little bit nicer, I think, at least in the bottom level, because I do tend to, I am planning to put the portal in here, somewhere around here, and go from there. But yeah, still up for grabs as to where I'm going to put it. Now, I do want to change up the design a little bit as well, because I want to put in lava blocks, but how I'm going to fit that in is a different question. For example, if I want to put it here, then I'm going to have to be very careful coming in, because that will spread if I'm not careful. Or if I want to put some along through here, through these columns as well, that's going to be another challenge. So a little bit to think about here as well. Bit of looking at this and trying to figure out what to do. I've built up the pattern a fair bit with the red glass in the middle separating the two halves of the building, and I think that's going to work a little bit well. I think I probably would do maybe one more layer and then cap it off with a nether brick roof just to cap it off. So what we've also got here is, I'm not sure if I said this already, but I've designed a new road over here, a split road, which will eventually go off in that direction, possibly going up by a couple of blocks, just like the ones on the far end as well. So I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to put the roads as well, and I probably should have put it one more block across, because then it would go 1, 2, 3, 4 across like there. And the same on the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and across. But kind of everything, I guess. Gotta be honest, guys, I'm not really feeling the urge to make a video today, but I'm just going to try and plow on and get something out for today's episode. So what I've got here is that just the rest of the building. I've just done up the rest of the first layer, although I probably should, yeah, I don't think beings or mobs can get through here at the moment, so that should be for the time being. Now, somewhat annoyingly, this is a square building. I think it's square anyway, so I can't quite put in a nether portal right in the middle here, or I can't put one right in the middle like this. So I'm just going to have to guesstimate. I'm going to put one here, and hopefully when I move this portal across, it should hopefully link up with the one that's attached to that, and I should hopefully work. So I'm going to quickly demolish this, relight it across the other one, and then pop through on camera and see if it works. Because if it doesn't, I'm going to be a bit annoyed, because yeah, really annoyed. Right, with the portal lit, let's have a pop through and see. I really hope it works, because I don't want to have to try and move the portal if it does. And looks like that was a success. Excellent. That's very good indeed. So, next part of today's episode, I want to adjust how this entrance looks, because at the moment it's just rather nondescript. You can't really tell it's mine except for these birch planks. And I had to put those down because there's another one just a bit further up that way, I believe, to which looks almost exactly the same. So we're going to have to figure out how we want to do that. We'll leave a couple of blocks of gap, so whatever the wall pattern will be here can be done, but from there, from 2 or 3 blocks back, we can work out what we want to do. So I'm going to do a bit of thinking as well as a little bit of clearing, and come back in a little bit when I've got an idea of how I want this to go. We are going to have to be careful because we do need to make sure all of this is buttoned up to allow whatever this farm is. I forgot, I think I helped with this one actually, but whatever farm this is over here to work as well, just as efficiently as it did before. So a little bit of adjustment there, but I'm sure we can manage it. I've been doing a little bit of designing in Creative to try and figure out how I want to do this nether portal, or not nether portal, but the nether tunnel design from the main path to my base, and I've come up with a couple of things. I definitely want to have a black and white motif, because I think that would work well with my skin, as you can see, the black and white, but overall I'm not quite sure yet how to do the rest. I'm thinking this kind of pattern here, with the bone blocks put on its side to give a little bit of texture here. The blackstone I can't really do much about, I think, unless I can find gilded blackstone for sale, which may give a little bit of extra texture here and there. But overall, I think that's, yeah, actually that does work pretty well. So if I can find gilded blackstone in the shopping district, that would be good. Then I've just got dark oak or spruce scattered across here just to break it up every now and then. I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep the roof with the red nether brick and the bottom with the packed ice, but we shall see how that goes. I'm thinking, actually, what if I went with, what's this, warped nilium instead, and I'm just going to need one, and then I can scatter it. I'm not entirely convinced that's the best one to do, so we'll do a little bit of experimentation with the red and the crimson and the warped and see which one works better. And of course we're going to have to cover it all with buttons, so we'll see how it goes. Right, and now we've got ourselves the build in the nether. I've also put in all the buttons to spawn proof to the base, just so we can make sure that the thing above us works quite well. Now I did do a little bit of an alteration in, I pushed these down a bit, or pushed those up by half a block, and the glowstone instead of sea lanterns, because I don't have quite a lot of those. I could have bought them actually, but yeah, a bit late now. So I think the brown and the black and the white work quite well, and hopefully anyone who comes down here will be able to recognize that this is my base, although I probably should put a sign somewhere around here. Do I have a sign on me? Of course I don't. So back into the overworld to get a sign, and maybe a head to put at the front of our base, and then we can move on to something else. Actually decided to revisit this for a little bit just to spruce it up a little bit. I was thinking that the brown, the white and the black are okay, and of course the red as well, but it just was missing something, and I think the gold and the green of the glow berries that I've now put in work quite well. Did I put any string there? No, I didn't. So I think that this is going to work quite well, just to offset it just a little bit and to give it a little bit more color to make it pop just a bit more. So that is a good improvement, I think, to the start. Now I don't have any good snapshot for the front of what I want to do here, and I'm really hoping that whatever design we go through here is only going to be 1 or 2 blocks deep, so it doesn't interfere with mine too much. So we're going to see what happens there, and hopefully we'll be able to help with that soon. Now, for the second part of today's episode, I'm thinking I want to design the interior of this building, and I'm not really sure how I want to do it, which is why I've been putting it off for quite a while. So at the moment I think I'd start with a floor, which I probably will make out of both oak and jungle, because those two would work quite well together, and continue to figure it out from there. So while I do that, I'm just going to quickly show you this little area. So I did get my villager and expanded him to the entire area here, but as you can see the entire side of these two there. What, my words are not working today. So in a big V or diamond shape around here, the guy isn't really farming. So I'm wondering if I'm better off making this all into one. If I'm making this into one farm and having one farmer, or having 4 different farmers in here with 4 different crop types. Something to consider, because at the moment I can only use the wheat, and I'm using the wheat for packed mud when I sell it, which isn't often at the moment. Or I can use the hay bales or other things, which is another product I can use. So a little bit of thinking to do with that villager. So if at some point I may just remove this little staircase and just stick with what I've got, and don't worry about how inefficient it is. So first things, let's get the jungle and the oak and start work on the floor. Well, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with the walls, and I'm fast running out of time because it is quite a few hours to go before this video releases, and I do need to sleep in between. So I'm going to quickly finish off today's episode by, I think, doing a quick little bit of redstone here. Now I'm really hoping that the redstone between bedrock and Java with the item sorters that I'm doing are going to work. So I think I need, what, 3 blocks here? Is it 4? And then the chests. So let's go with 4. Hopefully it's enough. I want to do a couple of layers. Yeah, let's go with 2. And then I need to do a hopper line across like so, ending there. I need to do some complicated redstone bits. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at my tutorial, my videos to see, or not my video, my previous redstone to see how this works. So a little bit of hopefully this works, and I'm gonna quickly get it done. Well, some very, very shoddy redstone later, and a quick hop into bedrock has proven that I can actually do some of the redstone that it looks is in bedrock. Yeah, this is from a long time ago actually, and I'm not sure if this is a very sustainable model of doing it, but it does seem to work. So the comparator just detects that, and it turns off the redstone torch, and that funnels everything in. So it is slowly going in. I'm going to turn off chat for a second actually, just so I can ignore the person who's dying heaps. But you can see there I've got my seeds, my bone meal, and the and the wheat all funneling in quite nicely. So that should work quite well, and I should be able to expand this a little bit. You can see the hopper line comes through here, so I can add another 2 at the moment, although I could always make the hopper line come around and back here. So that works quite well, and it means I can probably do a little bit of stuff on this side to have a little bit more symmetry and a little bit less space randomly used. But that's going to bring an end to today's episode. So thank you very much for watching, and I'm getting this up very late for me at night, so hopefully you've enjoyed my slightly sleep-deprived attempts to get an episode out. Till the next episode, I'll see you later. Bye!